Hello, this is Friendly Cat, and we have a grand adventure today with Hungary. We'll be playing on ahistorical, and we'll be playing on the patch, I think it's 15.54, just before Graveyard of Empires, and doing No Friends, Only Family, and Otto-man. We'll be seeing some very unusual things, at least to me, on this ahistorical run, so I hope you enjoy. As usual, the first start of the run is the same as if you're on historical, so if you do normally play on historical, we can just do the same strategy. So let's go ahead and start down the usually path on Hungary to go pick up our Ottoman, and we're going to make sure we get a non-aggression pact with Czechoslovakia. So let's pick up an operative and then start the necessary steps to make sure we do get that non-aggression pact to increase the chance of them later on becoming our puppet. And continue down to crack down on radicals, same path. Pretty straightforward. And we also want to improve relations with the Czechoslovakia as well, and we'll later on be increasing the number of our divisions just to increase the chance that they become our puppet. There is just a little bit of RNG in here, but this helps us out and make it that much more likely. As we go into the reinstate the pragmatic sanctions, I think it is, of 1713, we're going to get this event, and I'm going to choose the top option. There is an option which you can fight it out, and I fought it out. I tested it. I just don't see any benefit. It doesn't give us any bypasses, so I say I might as well just play it safe and not bother to actually go into war with Czechoslovakia, Romania, and Yugoslavia at the same time. We'll eventually head on down, pick up Otto, and then just keep moving our way down those paths as we pick up yet another focus, which actually gives us cores on Romania for free. Pretty cool. And you can tell we've already got two major events going on this historical. Italy has gone into a democratic civil war, and Russia has actually gone to war with Turkey over the Straits of Bosporus, I think it is. So they will eventually take Romania to the peace conference. After we complete our focus for asking Austria to become our puppet, they say yes. That's awesome. Opens up that cool shared focus tree at the bottom, and we will now take a quick diversion to open up the gateway focus, which allows our puppets to later on proceed down the remaining focuses, which are very powerful and very helpful. After that focus, let's go ahead and go after protect Czechoslovakia. This is a key moment of the run. We really would like them to make our puppet, primarily because they've got so many troops. It looks like UK has gone non-aligned later on. They are very likely to join Germany, which has gone semi-historical. They are fascist. So we have to keep a very close eye on it. This could be very damaging to us or very threatening to us. Here we are. Czechoslovakia returns to the crown. Very happy with this. Again, they have got that large army, which allows us now to proceed to another focus, which one gives us the war goal on Yugoslavia, but also allows us to core part of Yugoslavia. And I'm feeling very confident at this point that we can make this happen. After we complete that focus, I'm going to actually go for a war goal in Italy. On your run, you may kind of diverge a little bit, depending on how you feel about going to war with Italy, but I want to go after war to Italy right away, whether on ahistorical or historical, before they have a chance to get too far into the Axis. And Yugoslavia doesn't really have much to stop us on historical. Romania will certainly jump in, and of course France as well, but we can fight through both of them, and if Romania was doing this on historical, we'd actually take some of their cores in a peace treaty. So it's kind of unfortunate that they were not able to make that happen. We're going to eventually form divisions with 9 battalions of infantry and 3 of artillery. So far, we have only got up to 2 line artillery, but we'll move right along. And Yugoslavia doesn't have much of a way to stop us, and France doesn't move their troops there quick enough. It allows us to take another puppet, place a Habsburg on the Croatian, which allows us to continue down this road. This gives us 3 puppets that are going to move down this shared path. We ourselves will not be moving down it, except for the gateway start and the very ones at the end, but they're very powerful focuses, so it's good to have puppets. The attack into democratic Italy didn't go so well in this run because it's ahistorical. They let France send troops there, and it just turns into a clog. But eventually we'll also proceed down to pick up Albania as a puppet, which now gives us 4 countries that are hard at work moving down the focus tree. In my experience, they generally take about a 50% chance of actually choosing that joint focus tree. Just doesn't seem like a lot, but that means you're generally moving 2 focuses at a time, which is very nice. We'll continue on down. I'm going to actually then go pick up this 35-day focus to pick up some more cores out of Czechoslovakia. They help me out. And are using our usual mixed role CAS with bomb locks on the front, and those are going to be my planes for the rest of the game. And here we are seeing what I've never seen before. Even though I'm bailing out Mussolini, somehow he turned non-aligned, even though he's in a civil war and has a default focus strat. I don't know how he did that, and then flipped part of his land that I controlled because he was with me to him, and then boom, popped that democratic Italy out of the war entirely. The only parts of democratic Italy are left are the parts where French troops were sitting there. Never seen this before, and I have no explanation other just to keep moving on and pick up another puppet, which now gives us 5 puppets moving down that powerful tree. I'm very happy to see. Look at 3 puppets are currently moving down it. So they give me a lot of bonuses, and I hope they would give you as well. Well, let's head on into France. France has kind of spread itself out a little bit, and they are pretty tough, but this kind of looks familiar if you've seen some of the other runs. Once we kind of push through the outer area, we can just use 6 with cavalry. Those are those little those yellow spades that are moving all over, and try to avoid fighting if possible, and just walk into Paris. Here we are walking into a major capital. Pretty impressive. I'm not sure if we're going to do that very many times this run, but for today we'll walk right into Paris. And with that peace conference, I'm feeling even more confident. We've picked up large parts of the land. So now let's attack Soviet Russia's puppet Romania. Now they've gone into their own civil war, so they have that Red Russia attacking them, and Romania didn't have much chance to defend us anyway, and these are our cores. After that, then we'll go to war with the civil war part of Russia. So now we're at war with both Russias, the Stalin Russia, but also the Civil War Russia. They've got a lot of troops, but you can see very low strength, very low factories, so we'll just move right around them and encircle them. Those a lot of divisions do very well against Stalin, but they don't do very well against a player, so just encircle them and destroy, and then just move through. And I was planning to actually make this last a little bit longer, but I think I just got a little aggressive and took them out, and now it's time to take out Stalin. But Stalin doesn't have very many troops. He's a post-Civil War Stalin, so he's got, I don't know, like 40, 50 divisions. He's got a lot of factories, but the front line is just too large, so we'll use, again, more 6-width cavalry. They don't use fuel. They're very fast, very cheap, and we almost walked into Moscow, effectively walked into Moscow, another major country we walked into. I'm very happy with that, and because I don't have a collab on Russia, I didn't really plan. I planned this pretty well, but it was just too hard. The battles just happened too quickly. Meanwhile, my non-aligned Austria went into a communist civil war, and the communist part ends up becoming my puppet. That kind of makes sense. I don't play that many Hungary runs, so this could happen in your run too. So just defend your communist puppet. I can't see how having a communist puppet could cause any problems with this. We are next to fascist Germany, but so be it. Just help the communist puppet out. They're no longer a Habsburg, so you need to have other Habsburg puppets to make sure you meet your Habsburg requirements for a 3 Habsburg in a later on achievement. Well, eventually we push through Russia. No collabs is painful, but they don't have any troops, so it's doable. We pick up all of Russia, and now we're just a powerhouse. Let's go after Poland next. Poland went into civil war, as so many countries tend to do on ahistorical. They don't have troops to cover their border, so let's go ahead and just fly through them. Do still be careful. Take your time. Don't get yourself encircled yourself, because they can still fight, and it is cold weather, and they do have troops on their own cores. So just encircle, and with a little bit of effort, you'll have taken them out. And now we're just really ready to take on Mexico next. So let's get our troops ready for Mexico. Here we go. What? No, Germany's declared on our communist puppet. Well, on ahistorical, Germany has a focus that lets them declare on every communist country, I think, in the world. And so they go one by one by one by one, sometimes if they take that focus. And so they've chosen to declare me. I didn't anticipate this. I should know better. So I've got no troops on the border. They have no troops on the border, but they don't have no troops. They don't have any troops on any of their border pretty much. So we just walk through. Kind of underwhelming, but ahistorical runs sometimes work out this way. I'm prepared for this fascist Germany to do all sorts of damage, but because they're in a faction with UK and they're attacking everywhere, well, and this is what a fully fledged Austria-Hungary shared focus tree looks like. It's the middle of 1939. Because we were so aggressive in picking up puppets, we've completed it. We've got that 50% off war justification, and we walk into Berlin. Wow, what kind of a run is this? I'm pretty much walking into every major country capital. And although Germany's in a faction with Great Britain, I think Great Britain's like, nah, I'll take a pass, particularly since I think Germany initiated their offensive war and Great Britain can't cover their borders. So once Germany goes down with its own collab, that's it. Great Britain's like, nah, I'll take a pass. So Great Britain becomes the leader of the Axis. Very interesting. Let's go take out anarchist Spain. They will not join a faction. And more factories is more factories as we get ready to once again try to get into Mexico. And after a quick detour into Germany, let's go get Mexico. We're going to land on their troops, and with each passing moment, the number of factories is reaching, 100. Now I'm hitting like 250 or so. So Mexico, which had gone communist, and then they just started to declare war on not every country, but lots of countries. And this is who we're looking at right now. I'm currently at war with Japan because Japan went to war with China, and China had been guaranteed by Great Britain. So Japan had actually joined Mexico's faction because Mexico had gone to war with Great Britain as well, if you're following me. And then Mexico went to war with the United States, and they joined Canada's faction, which is the remnants of the Allies. Yeah, ahistorical is a lot of fun. So after we clear up Mexico, when we're not at the peace conference yet because we haven't taken Japan, let's go work on the United States. And dealing with Greece, doesn't matter if you're a major, as we are right now, or you're weak, naval invasions are definitely the way to go. I thought this was pretty to look at, so I thought I'd add in here. Don't fight through the mountains. That's foolish. Just naval invade around them if you've got the forces, which we do. The United States has already been fighting Mexico. It's the middle of 1939, so with a nice little encirclement, we've picked up maybe 20% of their army, which doesn't seem like a lot. They're stuck in Mexico. They'll spend the rest of their lives there, unfortunately for them. And it opens up, once we've opened up that border with the United States, they cannot cover. 6th cavalry are now out in force. We've got 48 divisions swarming that border. And with 2 collabs in the United States, we will eventually walk into Washington. No, we did not walk into. I'm going to count this as a walk into Washington, D.C. because we did capitulate them before we got there, which just leaves us with Canada in this faction. As you can see right here, Canada is the last remaining member of the remnant of the Allies. I think it's called the Commonwealth. And once we take them out, now the focus here on this is to try to make sure we take as much as possible and keep our allies, our co-war folks like the UK, from creating new nations. And thankfully, since it's a non-aligned Great Britain, they generally won't do that. Off to Japan, the last of the communist, they're not aligned, but the last of the communist faction led by Mexico. Once they go down, that ends our last major war. Naval invade on the port and off the port. These are Marines at this point, so Japan's been fighting for a while in any case, so with Marines and some air cover, we don't have too much problem taking them out. The key part of this peace conference is make sure we take Greece. I need to take Greece in the peace conference. Not that I don't care about anything else. I actually let my co-war people, China and Japan, take as much as they want because it doesn't really matter for the run. I just want to make sure they don't create new countries. Last up is Bulgaria. Bulgaria was guaranteed by Belgium, but they didn't join a faction. In any case, all I need to do is control them for one of the other achievements. So we'll take them out, and then we'll go to war with Switzerland, just completely obliterate Switzerland because we need I think it's the Swiss plateau, but we need to own the Swiss plateau. We need to own. So thankfully, we took them to the peace conference. We own the Swiss plateau, and then we have 3 Habsburg folks on thrones. Austria doesn't count. I don't think he's a Habsburg anymore, but we have Czechoslovakia, the Italian, and then we have Albania, and we have Croatia, Slovenia. After that focus is complete, let's go ahead and integrate the rest of our puppets. Let's go to the bottom of that political tree. It's going to cost us about 600 political power, but it's fine. So let's just go ahead and finish that part out. For fun and just for adventure, I decided to form the Unification of Europe, and I showed this just to see what it looks like in the country's gone purple. Not necessary for the achievement by any means. Eventually we'll have enough political power, and we'll finally integrate the last of our puppets, and that's it. The run is done. The last of our puppets other than Albania, but Albania is not necessary for the achievement. And now we control all of Europe, we control all of the necessary tiles, all of Europe, of course, except for Albania. We don't control them, they're our puppet. In any case, this was a lot of fun. I love Hungary. I love the shared focus tree. You can do this as Austria. I think Hungary is much better to do it with. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you decide to run a Hungary run. You enjoy it as well, and this helps you. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave below.